What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists, and welcome to P&Q, my question and answer series. We get to ask me questions or put comments to me and then I respond the following week. Now you can do this one of 5 ways. You can pop your comments or questions down below in the comment section, which is the most common way, or you can email me directly for an anonymous response at miniwarzone@gmail.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. Or you can make a video series yourself and you can ask a question on there, or make a video when you just ask a question. If I see that, I'll do the same. I'll put that on here as well. Or if you meet me in person and we talk, then we're in business because we can chat and converse and whatever. But if it's a really cool topic, I think and I have been known to use them here as well. So I'll do that. And of course, there's always good old social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of jazz. When I say social media, I mean social media other than YouTube. So yeah. And as you can see, I've got a green backdrop behind me now. But I'm probably not going to shoot the green screen. I'm just going to use... That's my green screen backdrop, by the way. That's what it looks like. So it's a green backdrop. A backdrop's a backdrop. I mean, I've got a black one and a white one. Yeah, why not? I mean, just use it. It's handy as a backdrop sometimes, just as a backdrop. So, without further ado, what have I got? I've got... I have a question. Well, I've got one email, and I have a question that was asked in the Wargamers Unification group, not to me directly, but it was just generally asked. Social media, there you go. And then the rest were questions or comments that were left from last week. And so I'm going to start with the question from the Wargamers Unification Facebook group. It comes from the BMP, Justin Berman. He was asking, he said, how does everyone deal with dislikes on their videos? And of course, there were many, the usual responses of don't worry about it. And of course, that is the route to go. Of course, don't worry about it, because it doesn't make any difference. A like or a dislike to the YouTube analytic machine, it counts as the same thing, just a point of interest. You've piqued an interest one way or the other, and YouTube are happy either way. The more, if you had a video with a quadrillion dislikes on it, it would be just as likely to be recommended as one with a quadrillion likes. So because people are reacting to it. Now that said, dislikes on your videos, you start getting them, I suppose, as you start to get bigger. Although you can come across, one or two trolls, of course, anyway. But and what I've found looking at my analytics is 99.9% of my dislikes come from non-subscribers. So I suspect that would be the same for you as well. I very much doubt it's a subscriber, because that's if they haven't left a comment as well. Although it does happen, and it has happened to me. Happened to me about a month ago. Someone disliked one of my videos. Therefore, I can't think why. Going on the analytics to see if it was a subscriber or not. You got to wait a few days for that to sort of catch up. But I was a bit surprised when I found it was actually a subscriber that had disliked and not left any feedback as to why. I mean, I was mystified, because obviously I didn't know the reason why. But that is very rare. I have to say that is really, really rare. So I'm just going to have a sip of my tea from my cup a minute. Mug. It's actually normal builder's tea today. So yeah. So I'd be very surprised if the one, if you get a dislike and it's a subscriber, it's usually a non-subscriber. The thing is, most of the time, subscribers, they've subscribed to your channel because they like what they see. They like the content. They like you, your personality, whatever, and it's not quite as likely that they're going to leave you a dislike and then just bugger off, as it were. So I really wouldn't worry about it. It's part and parcel of expanding your channel. Really, it is. And but good luck, because just remember, dislike or like, it's all the same. I'm just like, hey, thanks for the watch, guy. Cheers, dude. Anyway, that was an interesting point I wanted to touch on. Okay, I've got an email next. I'll just cut to the chase. It says, Pete, could you say something about your interview with GW, or would you rather keep that one to yourself, lol? No, I've got no problem discussing my interview. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to keep it a secret as such, not until I got to ask them, what about, YouTube and so on. And because they've got some focused policies, shall we say, put it that way, on different stuff. So I wanted to make sure I was okay to talk about, them. And of course, I'm not an employee of Games Workshop, but I have gone to an interview with Games Workshop, and that was on, what day was that? It was the 1st, whatever day that was. Yeah, it was a Thursday, the 1st of February. I went up for an interview at GW, and it was good. It was nice, up in Exeter. Or for some of you, it'll be down in Exeter, but whatever. It's Exeter, and the Exeter shop there, and I like the Exeter store because it's nice and wide. It's got like a lot of nice. It's very spacious. Although it's typically you're in a Games Workshop, don't you? Wherever you go, it's got that feel to it. I don't know. Lasted about an hour, I suppose. I answered the questions, asked a load of my own as well. Well, we interacted. We had a good interaction, I feel. I don't know what else you want me to say about it, really. Whether you want me to talk about what they asked me or what I asked them. It's just questions that you get in an interview, Although I have to say that, and I did say, I put it out there, that it was my first interview in 15 years, at least 15 years. So my response was likely to be like disjointed in some way, because I got to a stage in life where I was going for so many job interviews. I was like, I don't like this job anymore. I'm jacking it in, and I'll go get another job. Yeah. And I would do that as commonly as going to the newsagents to pick up a newspaper. I'll just get another job. And it's not like that now. Things have changed so much, and I'm, like, whoa, they really have. But it was good. There was two gentlemen that interviewed me, the store manager and like a recruitment manager or a recruitment guy or whatever. I felt it went very well. I don't know what else to say about it, really. I'd like to work for GW because I just would. It's my hobby. I know some people say you should never do your hobby as your job, because then it doesn't become, it becomes more of a chore and it's not your hobby anymore. Depends what it is, though, doesn't it? I think, and for me personally, this would suit me down to the ground, because I love it. I have such a passion for it. So, we'll see. But what I will say is this, and I have talked about my interview in the next On the Bench with Pete, which will be out on Wednesday. So I've mentioned it there, and I talked more. I'll go more in depth. I've gone more in depth into the interview there on that episode, which is my paint-along series. But the thing which got me the interview really was the fact that I'd done a video CV. Well, I thought, well, I'm a YouTuber anyway, let's make a video CV rather than just on paper, which I send them anyway. But I also sent them the link. So when I went there, the first thing he said to me was, do you know, I feel like I know you already, having, seen the video CV and that, and, I know, because I know what you look like, I know what you sound like, I know a little bit about your personality, and yeah, there you go. Do a video CV. That's my advice. Video CV, because hardly anybody does them. But I think they'll start to be more popular, as we go forward in time. It makes sense, right? Because you put yourself out there, an employer can see what you look like and sound like, and they gain a little bit of knowledge about you without having to meet you, without having to arrange interviews. So if there's something about you they drastically don't like you've got tattoos all over your face or something, with like profanities across your forehead or whatever, I don't know. They don't have to waste their time calling you in for an interview if the rest of what you've put down is really awesome, and they're like, everything's great apart from, or I don't know, I can't think of anything else, but you know what I'm saying. A CV video, do it. If you're looking for a job, do a CV video. Anyway, or a video CV. Mine's on my personal channel. I just sent them the link, which they both had seen. The store manager and the recruitment guy. Right, okay, so let's get on to the comments that were left on my last video, on the last week's video. There's no particular order. Anyway, Idic Beer 40k, it says, nice P&Q, Pete. So let's say Earth is just about to meet our first extraterrestrial. Do you think it would be friend or foe? So this is a hypothetical situation. So hypothetically, if we're about to meet our first extraterrestrial, I've no idea whether it would be friend or foe. I mean, personally, I think we've already done it, so I think we've already had numerous contacts with extraterrestrials. But hypothetically, if it was our first one, I have no idea if it would be friend or foe. I'd love to say in a hopeful realm, friend, because that would be nice, and I wouldn't want to think of an extraterrestrial as a foe, but I think it's going to be both, so I think it's really 50-50. I think there's going to be good ones and bad ones, but I really think it would be 50-50, and I can't say either way, but I would hope it would be friend. Yeah, good question. Alright. Super Wargamer says, nice video, Pete. We agree on what's actually on the moon and stars, with a smiley face. Okay, his question is, when do you believe we will actually be told there are aliens on Earth or visiting Earth, and why? Okay. I don't think we'll ever be told in an official capacity. I think they're doing it now. I think they're doing it as a slow disclosure, especially with all the people out there that are researching this stuff. Particularly YouTube is such a great platform. People are digging and researching, and they're coming up with stuff. As you probably know, anomalies, and there's a lot of fudging in photos and that kind of thing, but people are starting to uncover this now. But they always seem to leave just a little something, like a little bit for the masses. And I think they're doing it as a slow disclosure so that 20 years from now, 10 years from now, I don't know, however long, it'll kind of be common knowledge. Everybody will be like, oh yeah, we know there was a past civilization on Mars, because everybody's seen the photos and that now. But I don't think there'll ever be an official announcement, not unless there was a full-on invasion, which I don't think is going to be the case. I think it's going to be more of a devious invasion, or it's happening as a devious invasion now. Because if it was going to be like a hostile, boom, this is our planet now, I think they would have done it already. I think they would have done it by now. Maybe we're terraforming it for the aliens. Maybe that's what our purpose is. Yes, because of the way we're kind of messing up the world, we are kind of the terraformers, as it were. So we're adapting the planet to suit the needs of the alien race in question. And that's that. What a question. But yeah, I think it's slow disclosure, and I think it's happening now. Okay, we've got 3 questions left. Daniel Grant is next. It says, hi Pete. Thank you for answering my question the other week. I've since purchased a mould line remover. Nice one. I hope you find them as useful as I do. I wouldn't be without them now. Great Q&A as always. My question for next week is, your favourite chef/cook will cook you your favourite meal for your birthday. What would you choose? My favourite meal... I'll have Gordon Ramsay cook me a steak. A rare steak meal with all the trimmings, some homemade chips and, proper, all done nicely. That's what I would have, because steak is probably my favourite meal. Good question, thank you very much. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay, and he'd cook me a steak meal, because why not? Steak, right? Whenever I go anywhere, I have steak. I'm sinking down. Look at that. I'm going down the screen. There's far too much screen above my head. Whatever. That's all right. The position of the shot is fine. So yeah, that's my answer. Gordon Ramsay would be cooking me a steak meal. That's nice. Steve Collects says, nice P&Q. Congrats again on the 1K. Thank you very much, Steve Collects. Go check out his channel, anybody that hasn't subscribed to him already. Just go and check him out. Nice channel, and I like it. Okay. And the last question comes from the Nerd Life. Last question, certainly not least. He says, enjoyed the P&Q, my rockin' homie. Any new dioramas in the works? Yes, there is, actually. And I'm looking to my right because it's over there. It is actually over there. I'm building a diorama for my wife's second book. It's not really giving anything away as such, but yes, it's got a few of the characters from my wife's second book in it, and it's not like, oh, this is something that's happening in the story here, or it's just they're there, and I think it looks good, and I wanted to do it. I'm using a combination of like Reaper Bones models. I can't remember the name of the other company. Is it Gunmetal Miniatures or something like that? I just got a few. I've done a bit of conversion work on it as well. One of the models. So that's a thing, and that is something I've got to get around to at some point to finish off. But it's something I don't want to rush. And at the moment, I'm working furiously on my Necromunda. But again, I'm not rushing it. It's just that I'm prioritising that because I want to get some gaming of Necromunda in soon, especially on the channel. I think that would be good to be able to film some Necromunda on here and set up a little board, because you don't need a huge table for that. Not that matters. We can expand it later on as time goes by, and that's what I want to do. Some Necromunda. So I'm heavily into that. Because I'm just one guy. There's only one of me, so I've got to select what I do when. And at the moment, I'm doing Necromunda. Oh, and you've probably seen the update. I've done an update of these guns that I'm going to be painting up for my wife's cosplay. They're just plastic toy guns. But I'm just going to paint them up to make them look more realistic, so that when they go and cosplay at Lex Rock Exeter later this year, they'll look more, the part. That would be good. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, is Necromunda and these guns, and then the diorama. It'll be the guns and Necromunda are kind of side by side, and then I'm going to do the diorama. Well, I'm probably just going to do the diorama in between as and when, because there's no time scale on that. But you've seen it before in a few, but it's a round one. Next time I do a little bit of work on it, I'll make sure it's videoed for you so that you can see it. Okay, but yeah, what I'm basically using is like a, I don't know, I'll say medium sort of cake base to put it on, and that's how I'm doing it. So yeah, but that's it. That's all my questions. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I've seen the light change a couple of times as I'm moving around. The green is changing. So I'm not using a green screen, although I have a green screen, but I'm not using a green screen overlay, so it doesn't matter. I might do a video on green screen work actually at some point. I was thinking, don't know, what do you reckon about, doing green screen, some tips I've picked up, and helpful tips, hopefully, what to do, what not to do. I think so. Right, I just realised I'm rambling incessantly now, so I'm going to stop. Oh, it looks 21 minutes. Ugh, I've gone on too long here, huh? So I won't take up any more of your precious time. Thank you for watching P&Q. Remember, get those questions in if you want some questions answered, some funky questions, or you want to talk about some weird topics or some funny topics or whatever, then just get those questions in, and we can talk. We'll talk. And yeah, remember, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.